Let's optimize some images. Hi there, I'm Chris Good, and if you would like to learn web design, WordPress, and Elementor, then you are in the right place. In this video, we're going to look at the why and the how of image optimization for use on your website. And if you want to jump to the how, you can just hit the timestamp below and nip on off to find some awesome processes that you can go through to quickly and very efficiently optimize your images. I'm going to show you a few browser tools that I use to do that job really nice and quickly, and you can also find links to those in the description below. But if you want to understand the basics about the why that's important, let's quickly get into that. School time. Okay, so as you're getting into web design, you're starting to understand that a web page is transferred data from the server to the browser, to the device that somebody is browsing the website on. Now, there are loads of different elements to all of that data. We've got HTML files, CSS, JavaScript, PHP processes going on. We also have the actual media, the images or videos, but usually images, which are being transferred to the device for display in the browser. Now, obviously, the more data there is for one particular web page, the longer it's going to take for that to get from the server and transferred to the device. Now, obviously, the quality of the connection, such as Wi-Fi versus a mobile signal, is going to make a difference there. But if we want to speed up that time, what we really need to do is minimize the data that needs to be transferred to display a page. Now, we might do a lot of things. We might cache a website. If you don't know what that is, then I'll speak about that in another video. Let me know if you want that. We can cache a website. We can minimize the way that we structure a template so there's less code. But one of the biggest things we can do is optimize our images, i.e. make them consist of as little data as possible. Now, if we think about a typical website homepage, we might easily have 10 images on that page. At the top, we've got the full width hero section. That's quite a big image. We might have service specific images, so that might be 3 images in a silo section. Perhaps we've got another full width background image behind the testimonials or parallax, looking very beautiful, and then a few other images maybe for teams or latest blog post. It's very easy to get to 10 images on a web page, very easy. Now, if all of those consist of 1 megabyte and we've got 10, 1 times 10 is 10 megabytes. That's 10 megabytes of data, assuming we've got no caching or compression or anything like that. And so that's quite a lot of data. Now, you can probably put that into your own terms when you are moving files across from here or there on your desktop. You will know that more megabytes is going to take longer to transfer, and it's just the same when we're trying to browse a web page. Now, if you've ever used an SLR camera or you've actually just taken images on your phone, you will know that they can easily be a couple of megabytes, and with an SLR camera it can be a lot more than that. I've had clients in the past trying to, or successfully, uploading 7 megabyte pictures onto the one I'm thinking of as a B&B website, and that was just one of 7 pictures. Now, do the math there, 7 times 7, yeah, anyway. So that's a lot more data. Now, what we want to do, here's the goal. We want most of our images to be something like 70 kilobytes. That's awesome, and less if we can. But we want to maintain the image quality, and we obviously need it to be big enough. How are we going to do that? Let's have a little look. So I have carefully crafted this web page. It's not my best design work, but really I kind of grabbed these images and slapped them into the design, much like lots of amateur web or DIY web designers, and I just put them up there. And it's quite typical. We've got a home hero section, some service images, background image again, and then I'm looking older than I like to think I look there. Now, this is actually quite light as far as web pages go, but I got a page speed score so that we can compare the before and the after. And we got a page performance of 75. Now, let's have a look at why. And here we go. The big reds that we have are are all to do with the images, really. Now we can talk about caching in another video, but let's look at these at the moment. So we've got serve images in next gen formats. Now what Google is looking for there really is, well, here we go, image formats like webp. That's the real golden one that we need to be looking at, because it offers better compression than PNG or JPEGs. Okay, so that's something we need to do. We need to optimize our images by turning them into webp. I'm going to look at how to do that. Again, we've got another reference to optimizing images. It suggests a plugin, but I'm going to say at the end why I don't think that's good. And then here, this is another thing that we're going to really look at, is properly sizing of the images. So you see here that we've got this image here, and it has a width of 2560. Okay, now we'll look at why that's something that is flagging up, but we see that we've got a potential saving here. Okay, so let's address the actual literal size of the images first. Okay, so we've got a rough idea of how we want to do that. Now I've got a file with all of the images that I uploaded, and let's select all of those, and I can see we've got 30 megabytes there. 6 images, 30 megabytes. Now I've also got a copy of all of those, and I'll just show you. It's the same lot, and this is in a folder called resized. So in this folder, by the end of it, we're going to have all of these images resized. Now I encourage you to do this as a process. So you've got the original photos that you've gotten from Shutterstock or wherever, and then have them in a folder and start to optimize them. The first thing I do is resize. Okay, so first of all, let's grab these three. So it's that one, and that one, and then I'm going to right click and preview. So I'm doing this on a Mac. I'll just resize that for you. I'm doing this on a Mac, so I can use the preview app quite happily with this. I don't know what the Windows equivalent is. The Windows equivalent is go and get a Mac. So I've got this one selected. I'm going to then click on hold shift and click on the bottom one, so they're all selected, and then just go to tools and adjust size. Now if they're different sizes, these will be blank, but just put in the width that you would like. Now on my measuring tool, they were just under 300. I'm going to put them to 400, and in case I just want to adjust it slightly. And resolution for images that you want to upload to a website should be 72. Okay, so that's calculating sizes right now. Taking a while, but it was 4.7 for those 3 images. Come on. Oh, right, well, it's done it. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Okay, so those are resized now. If I whiz this away, in fact, I'll just close that. And I now take these images. I can see that this one is now 107, and it is 400 pixels wide and 72. Let's compare that to... Lost my folders. Which one are we looking at? We're looking at that one. Let's compare. So we've got 107 kilobytes against 1.2 megabytes, and we can see that we've got the more appropriate size on this one, and 72. That's great. Let's optimize the others in the same way. Now, this Chris Desk copy one, it's currently 3,664. PageSpeed said it was a different size, but this is the literal size of the file. And what we want to do is bring that down to, let's just bring it down to 900. So go to tools, and I've just realized you can't actually see me go into tools, but up on the top of preview, we go to tools and then adjust size. And I want to bring that down to, I'm going to bring it to 800. Oh, I didn't check the resolution. Yep, that's cool. Okay, I'm happy with that. That's cool. And then lastly, we've got, now look at this, the hero image is 12.5 megabytes. Now I have actually seen people I've gone onto sites to work on them and seen that I've seen that happen, man. And that would be one of the reasons why sometimes you're waiting for a page and then eventually the image would appear. It's taking all that time to download. We also have this one. So this is 4,000 and this one is 7,000, and we're going to change those together. So select them, open with preview, and again select both of them. So I'm using shift and then go to tools up on the top menu, adjust size, and they were different dimensions, so it's left it blank. Now I'm just going to put that to 1200. That's actually quite generous, and then reduce this to 72. Okay, so was 23.5 and we've just reduced it down to 413 kilobytes. I know. Closing down preview, unless I'm mistaken, we've done all of them. And so let's compare the weight of these. So we've got the uploaded folder before it was optimized, 29.9 megabytes. And now all of these images, just from being resized, which is very easy to do in any image package app that you have, we've got 2.1 megabytes. That's great. I'm really pleased with that. Okay, so that's the actual literal size. Okay, so we've got uploaded, resized. I now don't need this. This is gone. So now this is what we want to work with. We've resized them in terms of literal size, and now we want to compress them and put them into the correct format. Now, I have run compression on different images, JPEGs and PNGs and webp, and sometimes, to be honest, the JPEG comes out in a better, in a reduced file size that beats the webp alternative. But Google is still going to look at it and go, yeah, but it's not webp though, is it? So to be honest, I just always put them in webp. Even if I've managed to get a compression where the JPEG is a smaller file size, it just makes PageSpeed quite happy. So what we're going to do is use a free tool to compress these images into webp. Okay, so what I would like you to do is go to pixelide.com and convert, and then you'll find this here. So the link is in the description below. And this is my favorite one to use because it's just very user friendly. Now I'm just going to duplicate my folder so that we can do comparison again. So we've got my uploaded resized copy, and we've got the original one. So I'm going to leave that there so we can compare. Now, all I need to do is take the images that I've resized and swoop them into this box here. I think we've got up to 10 on any free plan. They are all JPEG, so that's awesome because we have JPEG selected, and we would like to convert them to WebP. Hit start conversion, and you can download them individually, or we can hit download all, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, so that has downloaded to my computer in a zip folder, and then I've unpacked that zip folder, and I have this here. So let's compare the sizes to the resized images as they were when they came out of my preview app. Okay, so these are the ones that are still JPEGs, and I resized them, and we want to see how much we reduce this from 2.1 megabytes and also into the format of WebP. Let's select and have a look at that. Again, we've taken the size down from 6 megabytes, 2.1 megabytes down to 282 kilobytes for all of the images. It's crazy. It's a crazy saving. Now, if you remember, all of these 6 images were a whopping 30 megabytes at the beginning of this process. All we've done is resized them to more appropriate literal size for the web page, and then actually just swooped them into this compressor tool here and brought them out as WebP compressed files. So now what we need to do is replace all of these images with their WebP counterparts. Does that make sense? I hope it's making sense. Right, let's go. So I'm going to open Elementor, And first off, let's change this one here. So I'm going to go to style and choose the image. Do wish I'd labeled them better. Especially because, now I was just remarking that I do wish I'd labeled them better, and I didn't bother labeling them, which is really silly because you can't actually preview webp on your desktop. You can if you take it into a clear tab, you can drag it in there, and then you'll be able to preview it. But my computer's doing so much, so I'm actually going to swoop all of these in. So now I have all of my webp files there in my media library, and that's cool. Okay, let's get on with these ones. Select and replace. So media library, boom. Obviously you would want to be adding awesome alt tags as well. And then this one, obviously pretty simple to do in Elementor. It's pretty fantastic. However, when you're trying to help someone improve their site and you have to go through all of their images, and let's update that, all of their images, and then copy them down, optimize them, put them back, it takes a long time. Right, so let's get another page speed score on this page. Now, while we're getting the new page speed score, which I hope has improved a little smidgen, now this is only 6 images. Obviously, if you had a page with 10 images or more images, as you would, this is a very light page, you're going to see more of an optimization and improvement. But just do remember that across your site, it's going to make a huge difference, especially when you've got an image heavy site. Now, just to remind you of the process, really, so what we're doing is we're reducing the literal size of the images, and you can do that using any app on your computer or device. Or even on your phone. Don't forget though that if you're going around with your mobile taking lots of images that you know you're going to use on your website, you can actually reduce the settings on your phone so that you're taking smaller images. You can change the dimensions of the photo, you can change the resolution, you can change anything you need to start optimizing from the moment you're taking the images. That being said, don't forget that you might have other uses for the images. So you might want to keep fuller copies of them. But really, the literal resizing of the images can be done using pretty much any tool. You then need to compress and export the images, and you've got things like GIMP, which is a sort of a free Photoshop, open source Photoshop. You have Photoshop, you have lots of things that you can use. I personally like to use Affinity Designer. There are so many things out there that you can use, and if they don't all export to WebP, then using the tool that I've shown you, you can just swoop them in and compress and export them as WebP. So it's really, really simple to do. Now you might find it's good to think about something like a triangle. You've got the literal size, you've got the compression, and then you've got the quality. And it's really about finding the sweet spot, and some images will compress really well and you maintain the quality, others just won't look so good, so you have to reduce the compression or increase the size a little bit. There's no one size fits all, to be honest, and so you might want to have a look over your images and just see that you're getting the results that you want. But it's about playing with those 3 dimensions there and getting the sweet spot for each image. This is one reason why I think image optimization plugins for WordPress are a terrible idea. People upload loads of really heavy images to their website, and then they leave it up to the image optimization plugins to do a blanket rule across all of them. But it's also very messy. I've seen lots of these plugins, they create lots of duplicates of images which take up a lot of space on your server eventually, and it's a really difficult problem to undo. Also, it's using resources to try and display these images against their natural size and compression. So you're making your resources work a lot harder just because you didn't manually optimize them and put them up to the site with a bit of thought behind it. Also, if you change your optimization plugin, you've got to overhaul all of that work. And trust me, you've got 10 pages on your website and you need to overhaul all of that. It's just a real pain. It's like untangling a plate of spaghetti. So let's have a little look. I anticipate even on this small page we've got an improvement, and it would make a real difference across your entire website. So this was the original. We've got 75 on desktop and 60 on the mobile. And look at that, we've got 81 on the desktop and 61. Isn't that worse? It's a smidgen of an improvement, but you can imagine that across an entire website and a more image dense page is going to be a bigger improvement. So we've got better numbers here. First paint is 5.2 to 1.6. That's great. Yeah, really pleased with that. It was 6.2 and 1.9. That's really good. And what we're not seeing here are issues with the images. They're not in the list. So we've optimized for that. And when we sort other things out like caching and stuff like that, we're going to see even more improvement and get this one up to 99 to 100. But I hope you can see there that image optimization really is an important step in website optimization. And it's really important to do that from the outset. To do it manually, put the images up there as they should be, and start getting higher page speed scores and happier website viewers. Okay, thanks very much. If you've enjoyed this video, if you've found it useful, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll be pushing out more content. Hopefully, I'm going for a weekly basis. I've also got a course on Udemy that you might find really useful, and I have more coming out just to keep up with all of the awesome Elementor updates. So like, subscribe, and throw me any comments and ask me any questions. I'm happy to do tutorials on things that matter to you in your new web design journey. All right, thanks so much. Bye-bye.